All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Werewolf tonight. We are continuing our Future Lies in Dust campaign. We are getting near the end. We're getting, I think, down the final. We're going to start up probably the final arc tonight. We got some aftermath stuff to deal with first, and then we're going to kind of start in this final arc. We've already mapped out the final scene of the campaign. We're not going to spoil it. We're going to do everything we can to make it happen because it would be hilarious. But we won't spoil. No spoils yet. But yeah, we're gonna get started. Why don't we go ahead and just do some quick intros and then we'll dive back in. So Jeremy, you want to tell everybody who it is you are playing?
Yeah, I'm playing Eustace Hart, Philodox Hart Warden. Just a nice, even-keeled dude, doing his best to try and help the pack out, and now has like 1 million coyotes following him around.
Absolutely,
it's great.
Yeah. Absolutely. You have close to 40 coyotes, like 3 dozen coyotes, we said. That's a lot. Melissa, how many coyotes does Selena have?
None.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess.
How many times?
You can describe your character, I guess. Go ahead.
Next question. How many times has Selena successfully hairs leapt? Once.
I just picture the scene when you hop on the roof by Orin Moon's shadow as like the tiles it's just comically like oh god, so funny, so funny. One of these days it's gonna work and it's gonna be worth it. We're gonna be very excited.
It might.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think it's been a little bit since she's smoked. So maybe that's it. Maybe she's like thinking too much. Maybe she just needs to be chill and just sort of like let it happen. So
yeah, Melissa.
Maybe that's what it is.
Jeez.
Ouch. Sorry. We're starting to work some stuff out on stream. Maybe we should. Fair enough. All right. Next up, Evan, tell us about Duke.
Yeah, Duke Dustfang is currently naked, covered in blood, playing dead in a tent. We'll see what happens. He just destroyed a whole neighborhood, pretty much. But he doesn't know that. He is still in the tent. He can't see. He just assumes it worked.
It did work. It totally did. I mean, honestly, you probably saved your pack, to be honest.
It's not the first time Duke saved his pack, but I'm sure he won't get any credit, so it's okay.
Exactly. No one's going to say, hey, Duke, thanks for saving
us. Thanks for saving us again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Because it is the second time, really. I mean, you did learn the other right and everything.
Yeah.
But, such as, heavy lies.
Such as life being the alpha, people
just.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to erect a statue of the Sept in Duke's honor. That's what it's going to be. As he currently looks right now. But naked,
right.
Blood and gore.
On the bottom. Nope.
No. Oh, goodness. God. All right, next up, Kipser, tell us about Lou.
Lou is currently not naked on a floor bleeding out somewhere and did not vote for Duke. But sorry,
not my alpha.
Not my alpha. She's she's a Ragabash glasswalker. Likes a little bit of a mystery. Tends to be a little bit impulsive and a little bit French.
A little bit French.
A little bit of it's French, but it's a
French
made up country.
Okay.
No.
Yep. I thought you were like Quebec. That ain't France.
The language is still called French.
Yeah.
The Quebecois still speaks the French.
I'm when French people go to Quebec, are they like, oh, this sounds exactly like our language? Or are they more like what happens when the Brits come hang out in the US and like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it's a different dialect. Okay. For example, pomme de terre versus patate, if you really want to start getting me into it, which you don't.
No, please continue.
No, there's
I'm not fully prepped. Could you go for another hour and 15?
Yeah,
I want to talk about potatoes
they use
all
a
night.
slightly
8 minutes
older
ready.
dialect, and it's considered a dirty. But for some reason, they're still teaching France French in our school systems instead of our Quebecois French, which would have been nicer.
Okay. Okay.
more
All
dirty
of that.
French.
A dirty French. All that
Give
checks
me
out
my
completely.
Canadian French.
Merci. Now we shall move on to.
No, I
Now
will leave
move
the
on.
stream.
Merci.
I will leave the stream.
Aaron, tell us about Jacques.
Jacques Quackclaw was born a wolf, a red Talon under the full moon, the warrior's moon, the Ahroun. He is a warrior first and foremost of the Green Mother and a protector of the wild, and a full believer in Duke's leadership. And of course, an absolutely hates the worm, but more so hates the weaver.
Not more so.
More so. The true evil in the world is the weaver.
And yet somehow you and Lou explored part of this this weird creature together, working together. I would never have thought when the buddy system broke down that it would be Lou and Jacques that were together. I would never have thought that.
Never would have thought so, but she came around and understood the
Well, there's certain humans that do need to get killed, but you also have certain humans that shouldn't be killed.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll be interested in seeing which ones you choose. Okay, so let's get started. So last time around, you all were continuing your kind of encounter, your fight at Whispering Sands, this relatively cursed subdevelopment outside of Florence, Arizona. The rest of the pack had plunged into this like little bizarre world inside the digestive tract of this spirit, while Duke was performing a ritual on the outside to force his spirit to detach from that neighborhood. Later, as Evan has already said, got fairly wounded, like self-harmed in the process to try to make the ritual work. You kind of were hiding amongst, you playing dead, hiding amongst the various bodies and gore and such like that. When the locker room mercs kind of came around to investigate. Inside, Selena, you got separated from Jacques and Lou, but in doing so, you actually located Oren Moonshadow, the missing Stargazer pack member, and who appeared fairly resigned to his fate at that point. And you all shared a moment where you kind of looked up at the sky and you saw this sort of like this infinite starry sky up ahead. And then that's when everything kind of shifted. Elsewhere, Eustace, you were navigating through various classic TV sitcom sets, and you rescued a skin Bodhi Darkpaw from Archie Bunker's reclining chair. And in the process, you also happened to save a couple dozen stray coyotes who had found themselves caught inside the spirit's aura. Lou and Jacques, you encountered those same lesser spirits from some kind of compound or farm or a commune or farm that were sitting down for dinner. Eustace had seen them earlier as well. Jacques, you beseeched them for aid. You were very polite. You used etiquette. And so they gave you help, and they provided you the last missing of the piece of the set mates, etc. And so you all managed to recover the bodies. And I want to stress that the bodies were skinned and furless and were partially digested. But because of the immense powers of werewolf generation, there is a pretty darn good chance that they will eventually recover, although it might be a slow process. But eventually, Eustace reunited with Jacques and Lou, and that's when that spirit detached itself fully from Whispering Sands. And as it pushed away, we just saw all of the buildings begin to just crunch and crush it, as like whatever it had done to them had started to manifest in the physical world. And so that's what we saw. So let's go ahead and pick up. We'll pick up basically right then. We're in the aftermath of that encounter. You can see the kaiju spirit is sort of vaguely on the move. You can't really see it in real life, but what you can see, those of you who are able to, is you can kind of track how it moves. And each time it kind of passes over or releases a part of something it had digested, it appears now in the physical world somehow partially destroyed, compacted, partially digested in some particular way. And so from that, you can kind of track its movement. We'll say that Selena, you are inside the neighborhood. You are relatively towards its center. You still have Oren Moonshadow with you. We'll say you can say that Oren is kind of panicking a bit as you watch, as like the two of you watch this sort of movement happen, and he begins to get very concerned. And as you look around, Selena, you notice that there's this bizarre and horrific amalgamation, maybe a block away from you, that is part debris of houses, part fractured and twisted trees, but you can also see like an arm or a leg and blood kind of pouring out of it. It's like what happens when you eat a bunch of different types of food and then you throw up later and all of it gets mixed together. And that's kind of what you're looking at right now. And the one other thing you see, Selena, is that there is a person, I would say maybe 100 yards or so from you, standing in the middle of the street, wearing what looks like some kind of strange, like protective diving gear, and has some device in their hand. And you can see they're just sort of standing in the middle of the street, a little bit out of whack. Eustace, Jacques, and Lou, you are more on the western side. You've got the bodies and the pelts of your sepmates. Eustace has dozens of coyotes surrounding him. The bodies that you guys have are writhing in pain, and you can even hear it coming out from them. But it's around this time you hear gunshots coming either further west and slightly to the south as well. And then Duke, you are hiding amongst the bodies. You can also hear that gunfire to the west. You know that moments prior, there were some of these Lockram mercs around, but they didn't notice you. They actually came into your tent, looked at you, and just dismissed you. But you can hear gunfire now at this point. So that's what's happening. So I'll turn it over to you guys. Like, who's doing what in this situation?
So for Selena, are we in view of that person? Like, could I like try to get Oren like down the other side of the house so that we would like not?
Yeah, so you can see it's a singular person. They have one of those, like it's like some weird sort of it's like partial hazmat, partial like old-fashioned diving suit, and they're standing there staring off in that same kind of weird, horrific amalgamation. And they have some device in their hand, and they're just standing there. They're not looking at you. Their back is to you, and you and Oren are up on the roof, and he is staring out and like watching as each row of this neighborhood just goes as the spirit continues to move. So that's what you see. So with that, Selena, what do you do?
We that right there that's one of the people that have been studying and trying to take this place over. I am unfortunately not in I'm not in a fighting shape at the moment. I think we should try to go a different way.
He looks down at you as he is a fairly tall man, and he is further up the roof than you. That is also sort of fractured. And he looks down at you, and you can tell his body, if you recall, much like your sepmates, was missing chunks of fur here and there, and his regeneration was struggling. You can see it's starting to kick back in, but he looks in very bad shape himself. And he says to you, like with like great fears, like the spirit, it is premature, it is gone. And you can see he's looking off. Oh no. And he leaps off the roof at that point, and he starts following in the wake of the destruction of the spirit at that point. Halfway through his leap, he like shifts into, we'll say, lupus form. And you just watch as he leaps in more of a humanoid form, and when he lands, he's in lupus form, and he begins chasing after the destructive wake.
Selena,
it's really impressive leap. It's very impressive.
It's this great leap that Selena just sort of looks and sighs. Oh, maybe some Maybe sometime I will successfully do that again. Chat's just rubbing it in.
I
Yeah,
know,
that's
I know.
great.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Selena,
Slowly cross.
I know
Slowly
Selena
climbs
looks
down
for
very
like
carefully.
yeah, I'm losing the word of like a
Trellis.
yeah, a trellis
Ladder?
or
Ladder?
like a drain.
Better?
I'm assuming there
You
isn't
can
a
climb
ladder.
down. You can climb down without a roll. You're fine. You can get down fine.
Just like hanging off the edge of the roof and then dropping down and just so shameful.
I'm more interested in
She
where
wants
you
to
go.
try to give chase a bit to Orin because she
Okay.
really wanted to bring Orin back to the stargazers. So
Okay.
she'll give chase after him in human form.
Okay, and so you are running. You're chasing after him. You can see him in a distance. He's like leaping and bounding over like some of the debris along the way. The road is kind of churned up here and there as well. You can see like there's moments where various bits of like the water mains and stuff burst, and there's water flying up here and there, and he's just like bounding between them, and you're chasing after. What about the rest of you? What about the trio? What is Eustace and Lou and Jacques? What are you doing? You've got the bodies. You're together. That large table is gone. Spirits are gone. You can tell. All the three of you would be certain you are back in the physical world.
Jacques would look around as soon as he hears the gunfire, hand the werewolf that he's holding off to Lou, growl under his breath, Duke, and start heading in the direction of the gunfire, assuming that Duke is getting shot at.
Okay, fair enough. What about Lou or Eustace? What do you do in this situation?
Eustace, we have to get these to the sept. We have to get them back for healing.
Okay. All right.
The truck, maybe? Or should we just run?
I mean, I don't got no keys or anything.
I'm sure I can hotwire it. That's not a problem.
All right. I'll carry my two if you can get the one.
Yes, I can definitely carry this person.
You look down, Lou, and you see there are 36 coyotes that are all swarming around Eustace. And they look at Eustace, and they look at you, and they look at Eustace, and they look at you, and like a few of them kind of come over towards you, and they start like this high pitched kind of bark up in your direction.
Just like the wolf's teeth come out, and Lou just growls back down at them.
I'm really glad you can hotwire a truck because the best idea I had was seeing if these coyotes would help us drag the bodies.
I don't
The
think
truck
they
is
like.
so much better.
So, yes, the truck is over near the sign. Yeah, you little coyote shits. Fuck off.
It's like a tennis match. They're all just turning their heads when Eustace talks, and then they all turn back over when Lou talks. Okay. So you guys are going to go try and find your vehicle, right? So
Yes.
you're heading south, basically. So you had hid your vehicle far to the south. Okay, no problem. You can start working in that direction. And then Duke, what about you, man? What do you want to do?
So what would Duke remember that would be towards the west, since we have like been to this area in the daytime?
You would know that the route up towards where the Stargazer camp was sort of westish of here, and then it kind of got up into the mountains. That's north of the neighborhood.
Ooh, interesting. Does Duke hear like did he hear like them run away like following the gunshots like the nearby
I would say
mercs
it's
or
fair. You probably heard their kind of boot steps or running away. Like they kind of were shouting towards one another. They were scouting, looking around for survivors and what's going on, and then they started moving away. And then that was probably sometime in the last few minutes they left. So it could be them. It could be them.
I guess Duke is gonna go out of the tent more towards the direction, not necessarily directly going towards the gunfire yet. He wants to go towards the neighborhood, potentially see if he sees any of his pack that is alive, since he's now seeing like the destruction when he walks out.
So we'll say as you walk through, like you see the full state of the destruction now, as like the spirit is fully detached. This whole neighborhood has come back into the physical world effectively, and you can just it's just the further inward you go into the neighborhood, the worse it gets. The outermost buildings are probably all buildings are essentially destroyed in some way, but the further you go in, the more digested, so to speak, they are. And I'll say it's not long before you hear the yips of coyotes, and you see this strange sight of Eustace and Lou moving probably much more slowly than you can move, as they are carrying these bloody bodies and giant wolf pelts, and there are dozens of coyotes that are just surrounding them, moving around them. And that's the first thing you'll see of the people as you move in.
And you guys see just bloodied, naked Duke. Looks kind of tired. Just kind of gives you a lazy wave.
I can't carry you as well. You're going to have to walk.
I think the stargazers are getting shot at.
Well, shit. Eustace, you're actually
Okay.
more of a fighter.
All
Yeah,
right.
what if the coyotes carry these bodies in or something?
Well, I was thinking about that, but Lou said she can hotwire this here truck. You okay, Duke?
Okay, look, the little coyotes keep staring at all of us.
It's just
All
really
right.
cold, you know? He kind of looks down.
Well, just go to Lupus form. It's free.
You know me. That's not how I roll.
You're already naked. At least you'll have fur.
All right, well, I'm gonna head that way and see if I can help.
Okay, if we get the bodies, Eustace, if we get the bodies to the truck, at least you can go
Yeah.
and join the combat, and I will get these to the
head that way.
Karen.
I'll help get the bodies to the truck, and then
And take your new
I'll-
little companion followers with you.
sounds like a great idea. No way this could go wrong.
Nope, definitely not.
Okay, I was really paying attention as I was trying to figure out a pattern for moving
You were
their heads.
committed
I
to the
was. It's pretty committed.
coyotes.
So, Duke, I think you're heading off in the direction of the gunshots. Is that right? Did I hear that?
Yeah, not like in a haste, but he's gonna try and like carefully move to see what he sees, or if he can run into another pack mate.
Right?
Not in a
So by the
haste.
time I put the body down and I start running in a haste, I'll just run past.
Yeah.
Run right past.
You know, Duke has his own speed, and
On
it's
your
not
right?
to endanger himself.
You're heading towards the gunfire, right?
No, on
Yeah,
your
but
left.
let's not
Sorry,
be
that's what
Yeah,
hasty.
I'm waiting for the meat shields to walk in front, and then he'll kind of go quicker, act like he's
Okay.
doing something. You know, how Duke will.
So Duke begins to meander in the direction
Yeah.
of the gunshots. Eustace, what do you do next?
I'll help get the bodies to the truck, and then I'll start sprinting in that direction.
Okay, so one thing you could potentially do is you do notice in the various rubble, in the weird amalgamations of construction material, vegetation, and in some cases like it looks like people, there's also vehicles. You can see periodically there's a vehicle or two. They're not they're not like people's vehicles themselves, but it's more like work vehicles. You can tell like they were like construction vehicles and stuff. None of them look to be in particularly good shape, but they're closer than getting to yours, because you guys left your vehicle all the way away. So it's like by the time you get there, whatever gunfire is happening to the west is going to have resolved itself by then. So that's the only reason I'm saying it. So with that in mind, Eustace,
Do you know how I wire one of these?
I can certainly try. Let me c'est quoi? Let's take a look at these vehicles, see if one of them is functioning.
Okay. So I'll say roll. I'll say this is less to get it functioning and more to just see if you can find one is still mechanically intact.
Yeah.
So roll like
Technology.
tech wits probably, I think.
Let's go.
And the better you do, oh god, that's really good. That's a critical success with a 6. You find what looks to be kind of like a plumbing van of some kind. Like you can definitely tell it's somebody who was probably worked on these homes. It is a bit scarred up and torn up, but as you get there, you notice that despite the fact that the sides of the vans are kind of pinching inwards, the wheels look to be fine. You get in there, engine starts up okay. When you probably have to hotwire it, obviously. Handful of like plumbing tools and such around here and there. No signs of the occupant or the owner. But yeah, you could probably throw the bodies in the back.
I will carefully put the bodies in the back.
Yeah. Okay, so you start carefully and gently moving them in the back. So then, while that's happening, Eustace, Lou's now got a van. What do you want to do?
Yeah, Eustace, you
So,
can go. It's okay.
I'm going to, but I don't know. Go dragging all these coyotes that just got saved into gunfire.
I'm not taking your little mini
No,
pack
I know,
with me.
I know. Now the thing is, not that long ago, we had ourselves a weird conversation with the coyote spirit, right?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is my best to emulate the interaction we had with that coyote spirit and try to use animal kin to kind of urge them to go in the direction of their patron spirit, so to speak.
Well, I would help you, but unfortunately, I can't. I've lost a little bit of my rage trying to heal myself unsuccessfully, so I can't help with this.
That's what I would try and do instead of dragging them into gunfire.
Animal kin, then give it a roll. Animal kin.
You're
like
too
charisma,
busy
stuff like
trying
that.
to play the coyotes.
Seriously, I realized I could do this way to my right is when they're talking to Lou, forward is when they're talking to Eustace, and left when they're talking to the Duke. I figured it out. It took me a little while. Got to commit these things. 3 successes. Okay, so you're trying to get them to go in which direction, Eustace?
Towards the general area of where the coyote spirit we met during the first arc. I basically don't want them to stay here in the middle of all this danger. They're free now. I want them to be free. And I think the best way I can do that is to basically give them a hint of where their patron spirit is and urge them to go in that direction.
So what does it look like when you try to communicate this or sound like?
He's trying to emulate the sounds that we made when communicating with the coyote. So it's kind of like a wolf trying to speak coyote. Mm-hmm. So it's like growling yips. It sounds really weird, but he's trying really hard. It sounds like dirty French, basically, but the Guru version of dirty French.
Say no more. I understand. So you watch as they all start moving away, but then like they get maybe 10 feet and they kind of look back at you. And then they move like 20 more feet. And then they all kind of look back at you again and they look at each other like they're confused. They're not sure. They go a little bit further and they look back at you again. And like there's like this cacophony of howls that suddenly starts happening. Like they're weird, high-pitched coyote howls, but then they all start just darting off to the north.
Okay, good. With that done, then I'll start going in the direction of
and in like 5 seconds you catch up with Duke. All right. So then let's check in with Selena again. Selena, you were chasing after Oren. You will not catch up with him in Nomad form, of course, but you eventually will catch with him. And as you're running through the neighborhood, it's twisted, it's horrific. Like there's smells, there's sounds. Like you can see random, like a random tree that's bent halfway and out, like bursting out from within the trunk. You can see both like a rear view mirror and a hand at the same time. Like everything's just sort of twisted and moved together. Like you run across a lawn and you realize it's sort of soggy here and there, and your feet kind of sink into it, and you see like this burst of what almost feels like bile come up and begin to eat away at the soles of your feet. And then as you burst out the southern side of the neighborhood, eventually you kind of leap over the section where they had marked off for a retaining wall. You can see in the distance the residue of the pathing of this spirit, as there are these different, when you were approaching, like these big boulder setups, there's these huge like red giant rocks like 10, 12 feet tall here and there, and trees and such, and various bush. All of it has kind of been ripped and broken and sort of torn into pieces here and there. And in the distance, Selena, you actually see some what looks like headlights. And you see one of those Winnebagos from the Stargazers, like whipping around here and there, kind of fishtailing in the dust. Not on the road, but on the dust here and there. What's half of your awareness / wits? Give me a pool for that. What's half of that?
2.5.
Okay. Yeah, so you can tell that you think there's a figure literally on top of the Winnebago, and you can see still chasing is the wolf, is the wolf of Oren Moonshadow.
So Selena would kind of go towards the Winnebago, and so she's just going to be like waving her arms, trying to get their attention as she's running towards them.
Okay. I'll say that as you get closer, you see that Oren Moonshadow drops out of his drops out of his lupus form. You see him kind of emerge into probably Glabro or something like that. And he's like kind of shouting and shouting and shouting, and he's calling out for Lucretia. And you notice that there's like Lucretia is literally on top of the Winnebago. She has change onto her arm, and her arms are kind of connecting down into the top of the Winnebago itself. It's almost like she's on top of it while someone else is driving it, and it's swerving around. And you get the kind of vague sense like they're trying as best they can to herd this thing and get this creature to calm the hell down. Because it's like they're panicking to some degree. We'll kick over then to just Jacques. Jacques, you emerge from the neighborhood on the northwest side, and you can see you're not quite to where the helicopters were. It's a little further, kind of counterclockwise around the clock. But you can hear the gunfire. You can now see the gunfire, muzzle flashes and such. And you can see that there are what look to be 4 of these like Lockram Merc kind of guys. They all got guns out and they're firing. And they are firing and they're separated. And there is a Krynos form werewolf that is just barreling down on one of them. And you emerge right at the time in which this red, kind of like red colored fur just comes burling down, and with this huge claw just rakes through one of them, sending half the body like up all the way into the air and the legs kind of flopping down. And then as she attacks the one, a whole mess load of bullets just all the way in her back as she does so. What do you want to do, Jacques?
Jacques immediately shifts to Krynos form himself and will attack.
Okay. So there's 3 targets basically.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick whichever one you want to go for. They're not extraordinarily close to one another. They're fairly spread out. You can tell they've sort of begun to panic a bit, and order has started broken down. But yeah, you can charge in on one of them before they're able to even see you, as they have their attention is very much focused on.
He's going right for the basically just the closest one to him.
Okay. So yeah, that works fine. As you come charging in, midway through the charge, Krynos form comes free, and yeah, what do you do?
I am going to kind of emulate what she did, except for the last instant, he's going to pounce and bring all of his, 300-pound of Krynos form down on this guy's back, and then just kind of dig his claws in and pull his arms and legs off.
And what is that? What's half your attack pool? We don't have to roll.
In Krynos form, half of it is 6.
Okay, that'll be plenty. As you charge in, you push him down, and you just hear as it crunches down, and he almost digs into the ground as he does so. He doesn't even get a chance to scream as it's muffled by his face just eating dirt. At that point, there's 2 guys. One of them continues firing. The other one shoots in your direction. It's again, just, they don't have, much like the other ones, they don't have any silver. So you're really just dealing with just superficial damage. So let me roll their attack here. Sorry, I forgot that I had these guys programmed in. Well, that's just awful.
It's good.
That's an awful roll. Yeah. So if you want to try to dodge, you can choose like with your next action to dodge. Just means you won't get an attack, or you can just take it. I can tell you I rolled very poorly.
I'm just gonna take it.
All right. So it's going to be a total of 2 points of superficial damage, which is the minimum I could do with them. And so you just take a couple shots in.
His muzzle just turns and looks, and just he gets a smile, and all of his teeth show.
And the guy's eyes go wide. They're familiar enough that they're not going to be subject to delirium. But like you can tell, there's a significant panic. You watch as the red-furred Krynos comes charging the direction, not of the one that shot at you, but literally straight down the barrel of one that's just firing one after the other. And last few steps, leaps up and just smashes down, and you just see one after the other, these raking of claws, one and just gore, like they're unwrapping a present. And then with your score, you would have no issues in sort of tearing out the other one. So as these last of these merc guards and around here get torn apart by both you and this other Krynos, you see that they turn towards you, and you can see that there is like rage and sort of frenzy, and she's like slowly moving in your direction, like dripping saliva and blood, and you can tell that she's not fully lost it, but she's like calculating as she's getting closer and closer, and it's probably one of those moments where you're not sure exactly how it's going to go. How do you play it, Jacques?
So Jacques would growl, but it's sort of in that soothing, like, we're pack. We are Garou. It's time to join the hunt together. Trying to put all of that into his body positioning and get a very low growl, that you feel in your chest to just kind of harmonize with her.
Yeah, let's do. Give me a roll on this. Give me like you can roll whatever you want for skills, so something like performance or persuasion or leadership or etiquette. Any of those is fine. And I would say like manipulation or charisma. So any kind of combo that works for you there.
We're going to be... So my leadership, performance, and persuasion are awesome. So is my charisma. So we're gonna enjoy this one.
This is not where the points have been going into.
We'll roll etiquette because it worked for me last time, but
it did. Yeah, it did work last time. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I'll let it stand. That makes sense.
Okay, so you try your best to sort of whatever kind of communication you can do in such a form, and like there's a pause for a moment, and it looks like it might work, and then she just sprints and leaps. That's when I'll say Eustace and Duke. Duke maybe 3 steps in front of Eustace because he's a touch master. You see 2 Krynos werewolves rolling around in the darkness, like you can hear the howls and the rips and the tears. What do you guys do?
The fuck are you doing? Moonshadow's alive that direction. I'm assuming this is the red-haired lady we saw.
Oh yeah, I get you.
I think it is. I've been running for so long.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing great, Duke. Man, I've never seen you so involved.
It was like a really long montage of Duke like running for like 30 steps and has to walk a little bit and he starts running again.
I mean, you're pushed through it, man. I'm so proud of you, Duke. You're really going.
I think I'm cramping.
It's okay. You just gotta push through it, man. You're doing great. You're doing great.
So, Eustace, you go ahead and roll something similar then for Jacques. And if you fail, then I'm going to let her get that attack off.
Okay. What's best for me? They're all about equal.
Yeah, any combo of that is fine.
Okay. I'll go with this.
All right.
Just 1 point better.
Give it a rip.
God, I'm going to spend a willpower on that.
Willpower? Okay.
Yeah, let's reroll.
This doesn't fly with Eustace that he is unsuccessful at this.
Dice do not like us too well.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
pretty
that
good.
gave me
That's
a 9
3
and a
successes.
10. Okay.
That's 3 successes. That's much better. And you can see she's got this giant claw that is dripping with the viscera and blood of many of these Lochran mercs. And right as it's about to come down on Jacques, she looks up. You mention the name Ahroun. And like you can see in her eyes, Jacques, as you're right there, like something shifts. And then you watch as the Krynos form begins to fade and you see her kind of pull back into Galabro. You can see beneath where the heavy fur, where the Krynos was, starts to see the little bit of like the human skin as she steps back at that point. She doesn't apologize. She just steps back. and she looks over at Eustace, her arm still kind of in the air, claw still dripping with blood. And she is coated in it because she herself has had a bit of a moment here. And she says to you, Eustace, what did you say about Ahroun?
He's alive. He's in that direction. That there's Jacques. Be careful about hitting him. He might like it.
She looks down at Jacques, considers, and then immediately starts running in the direction that you point, Eustace. We'll say maybe 20 steps later, is here again. She shifts like into lupus to kick her speed up. What do you guys do at this point?
Jacques drops into his bow.
Okay.
Loses 1 point of rage when he does it. Walks over to the body of the second guard he killed, breaks his rib cage, eats his heart, and then trots off back in the direction that he came.
Okay. You also notice, I would say...
Actually, before he does that, sorry for interrupting.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would actually use my hidden killer talent for the first time, and I will disguise the death of these bodies.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So there's a lot of bodies. So we'll say you take some time. Obviously, maybe avoid it, making it look less like werewolf attacks and more like something else, right? It could be anything. You know, it could be a wild animal, but you're like,
well, I was thinking like
these people
with the horrible debris around everything, making their bodies look like they were crushed. Like maybe it was some freak tornado that came through or something like that. I mean,
just compressing each one of them here and there. Okay. So I'll say the three of you together. You all see each other. You guys see Jacques doing this. You just saw who you know, and you're right, it's Canon Red Fever. She's racing off now in the direction of where Eustace pointed. So, anything that you three want to do?
Okay, look, we're all alive, but we got a couple members of the pack that are hurt pretty bad that I'd love to get out of here. Lou's doing her best to get a vehicle ready to go. I don't know what the hell's going on with the spirit over there, but...
Where's Selena? We haven't seen her. Anyone?
I have not seen her.
Okay.
He growls out. I could try to find her.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to run again, I'll probably pull something. So,
Okay, well, I'll give you a piggyback, man. Come on.
Okay, this is gonna be real. Like,
I know it's gonna be awkward. Just keep your grundle as pulled back as possible. Okay?
Well, it's real cold. I don't have to do a whole lot. So,
just a pile of buttons, huh? Okay.
yeah. Just give me like a 30-second stretch. Hold on, and we just see like the moon shining.
No,
out
I don't want to see stretch.
His bloody
God
butt.
Damn it, Duke.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So Jacques is going to be taking care of the bodies. Eustace and Duke, you're running off towards Lou, or are you searching for Selena?
I mean,
great. Yeah.
Okay.
I assume
We know where Lou is. Yeah.
Yeah, we know where Lou is, and we know where she's
Lou is
taking
probably
the bodies.
driving off.
Okay.
So at this point, it really is finding Selena.
Okay. So we'll cut back to Selena then. Selena, here you are in like the wake of this spirit creature as it's pushing further. You can see that you're at this point, it's reached the main stretch of highway that you all had parked your car near. Remember, there was like that collection of boulders and like the various like billboard signs and such here and there, and you kind of found a way to hide it. But you can see it's reached the main highway. It's late at night. You don't see any activity on it. It's a very empty stretch, and there is just desert galore to the south. And you can see that it's kind of pushing, like they're trying to herd it off in the direction. You notice like the Winnebago like screeches and turns, and it's trying to kind of push it, but then they constantly have to turn back as you can see that it's trying to literally follow the road. And as you are there watching, like Ahroun will kind of confirm that thing. Like, we need to control it before it reaches the city, town, places where it will be noticed.
Can I assist with this in the state I'm in?
And he will point to the Winnebago, where you can see like Lucretia is on top. And he will say, she's trying to maintain the ritual on her own. It normally takes 2, preferably 3. We must get on top. We must help her. We must link the circle and perform the ritual so that our voice is the one that it hears, not the song of humans in the distance.
I see.
And then
Yes.
at that point, he nods and you see him bolt and run in the direction of the Winnebago. And he leaps while the Winnebago's twisting and turning and screeching. It's not stopping. It's constantly weaving. They're on the road. They're off the road. And like at one point, it looks like the Winnebago's tipping. And you can just see they don't have time to stop for you. So Selena, what do you do?
I'm pretty sure I can't leap because I can't get into a wolf form, and I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, I think it's fair. I think it's fair to say that your rage has probably gone up from seeing all manner of destruction
while we're running. I'm
embarrassment of falling down.
Hey, dude, can you just punch me in the arm real quick? Can you just? I promise I'll help you. Can you just do me the solid first?
He looks back at you. What kind of werewolf are you? You cannot even leap onto a roof from below. Even humans can do these things. And now you beg me to inflict violence on you. Control your rage. And then he punches you in the face.
Okay.
And he turns around once.
I now have a rage. So now we have to see if I can successfully keep this rage in a hair's sleeve.
Jesus, Melissa. I'm just teeing it up for you.
I know, but I have to succeed. The dice have to.
You still get to do it though, right? Even if you lose your rage.
Yeah, we just play it that I successfully jump in the air and then.
Oh, okay.
Fall on my face. So I'm gonna roll. And we're gonna see.
Be good.
Hey,
look, you're halfway there.
Now I have to roll. So now I have to roll Hair's Leap, which is strength.
What form did you
glory.
go into, by the way? You were switching into a form. What form are you in?
Oh, I didn't click one. Sorry, I just.
It's okay. Just want to.
I have to do a rage to do Hair's Leap.
Oh, okay. But
so
can you Hair's Leap in human form?
Well, yeah, and that's son of a Glabro.
Let's see here.
No, because I if I want to do a ritual, that would be social, right?
Glabro's the Teen Wolf one.
So I probably just want to do Lupus then.
All right, I'm just gonna look at Hair's Leap really quick to see if there's a specific.
It just says Garu.
Okay.
Lupus is the non-rage check wolf form.
Yeah, I'll just do Lupus.
Okay.
Because then I am a Garu, which means that I can do the thing.
Okay, so we'll say then you shift into Lupus form. Does not require you to make a rage check. And
so then let me roll and see how good this does. So I'm going to roll insight plus strength just because it's the right number of dice. But I'm doing 3 successes, which means for Hair's Leap that I can leap 3 meters horizontally or 2 meters vertically for every success on the test. So it means I can jump 6 meters vertically.
Gotcha. Okay. Which is a little more than 15. 6 meters, a little more than 18.
6 meters.
Almost 20 feet, basically. You're almost basically 20 feet. Okay. All right. So after getting punched in the face by Oren Moonshadow, who's extremely disappointed in you, you go chasing after him. You watch as he effortlessly, with so amazing was his leap that perhaps it instills
jump, leap, just in perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even run and jump. He just turned around and just whoop, and he was up. But you go chasing after him, and we can see you kind of dart around on some of the rubble of the debris here and there. You You have to be a little careful in doing so, as you see the rocks kind of fall, but eventually we watch as this thing is just sort of barreling down the highway at this point. The highway is ripping up behind it, left and right, and you kind of parkour off of one of these sort of red rocks that begins to collapse right as you push off of it, and we see you fly through the air, the moon behind you, and then you land on top of this Winnebago, where there is Lucretia, there is Orin Moonshadow. You can see there are these chains, like rawhide and metal that Lucretia has kind of hooked herself to, so as not to fall off as the Winnebago kind of slides and swerves and turns and such. And Orin, when you hop up here, is doing the same to himself, and he's already begun kind of going through this like chant over and over. And it's more like song. Like you can hear, like as he begins, like this low baritone begins to sort of join Lucretia's more kind of soprano like sound. So I'm going to need you, if you want to assist, you're going to have to make a test, actually. I know this is not your best skill, in that you don't have any pips in it. But
Performance.
But performance would be wonderful. With a charisma would be great. I would also replace performance with occult if you wanted to, since it is in fact a ritual. So if you wanted to do occult instead, that's fine.
I do have a cult. So as she jumps up, she's definitely like looking around for like getting some like recognition that she successfully did this. And so she's just kind of like has that like, huh? And then sort of quickly is like, oh, right, more important things. And then she's like grabbing the
you nearly in that pause, you nearly fly off the Winnebago as it does this fishtail. It's going like 70 miles an hour. The ground beneath it is rupturing, and you want credit. Okay. Go ahead and
so
roll
then
your
she
test.
like quickly kind of like wraps that around. I have a specialty in occult for Umbra. I'm assuming this is not going to affect this at all.
You're not in the Umbra, so it's not really applicable here. So I feel like if you were in the Umbra, that'd be fine, but not now.
Okay, so occult's charisma. And 0 successes, so I'm going to spend a willpower on that. Good gracious.
I've never tried to gift wrap a moment more heavily than I'm trying now.
Oh
you
gosh.
can be the hero. Wait,
Just
maybe
roll
not.
physical dice and lie about you roll like you normally do.
Oh my god, I crit!
3 successes.
All right,
Willpower
that's
reroll
enough.
3 for 3.
So, what kind of singing voice would you say Selena might have? Like, is it high pitched? Is it low pitched? Is it somewhere in between? Like, what does it sound like?
Janis Joplin.
She's a little bit older, so I'm not gonna imagine that she's got a super high pitched singing voice.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know, alto
right.
maybe. I don't know what that would be, but
As you kind of follow through with these chants, you realize your voice comes out. It comes out in your normal voice at first, so it sounds kind of strange and throaty, and it doesn't sound like you're singing. But somehow, in the process of joining your voice to theirs, it begins to soften and smooth, and then almost as if it's being compelled to do so, harmonize with whatever it is they're doing. And it's at this point that you see and feel the Winnebago kind of begin to veer southward off-road, and you feel this big bump. You nearly fall as you do so. But for the first time in a while, it looks like it's no longer kind of chasing and trying to steer the spirit, but rather the spirit is kind of following it. And you watch as the ruptured highway, which at this point is probably a mile's worth of just destroyed asphalt, stops. And you can see the ground, the dirt ground itself, the various shrubberies begin to kind of get torn up and ruptured here and there. But it almost just manifests as like this small little kind of whirling tornado that kind of comes and goes. And you find, while on top of this Winnebago, you are driving off-roading on this Winnebago into the south, into the desert to the south. Lou, I will say that you have gotten the the van going. You've got the bodies. You have come out onto the road, and you notice that the road
Why is the road destroyed?
is not doing well, as it's just like this series of like sort of choppy waves. At a certain point, as you're watching it, a wolf, this red-furred wolf, just flies past you like as fast as you can ever seen one run.
Oh, look, there she goes.
What is Lou doing at this point?
Well, maybe I should try driving on this off-road so that it's a little less bumpy.
Okay. So you drive around, boom, 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 and it's not so bad. But it's like a mile of this. It's just bounce. And you just hear from the back, those like half-conscious people with no skin or no fur. And there's like, the whole time for the mile. It's just absolutely brutal.
It's almost over.
The rage bars are so high right now. It's ridiculous.
Very sorry.
And
big pothole, look out.
Where'd you learn how to drive?
I can drive better than you. I know that already.
So you make it through. You find the other side of the highway, and you begin your return trek. You just gonna drive back? Okay.
I'm going to the Karen.
Okay, you have fun. Tell them bonjour when you arrive. Okay. So we've got Selena. You are traveling with the Stargazers to the south. Jacques and Duke and you. Well, Jacques is behind, kind of cleaning up the mess. Eustace and Duke. I'll say you, as you guys are looking for Selena, eventually you reach the same place that Lou was, a little bit behind her because you guys were on foot, and you see the same sort of just wrecked and upturned territory. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, do we just look for the most fucked up thing and run straight for it?
I think we found it. Points at the highway that's totally destroyed.
Okay.
I mean, I'm writing, so I'm kind of following your lead here.
Eustace just uncomfortably kind of like shift his shoulders around.
Don't do that. It tickles.
Man, just.
You guys could always get the card too, by the way. You guys aren't that far away from your
No. We're committed.
Are you?
We're almost there.
Okay. So after a little while, you guys it's easy enough to follow. No tracking scores or anything like that necessary. You guys follow and follow and follow. Probably about 45 minutes of you kind of following this before you finally catch up and you see the Winnebago and what looks like a sort of series of kind of old, you're uncertain what the buildings are exactly for, but they're old kind of industrial buildings that have kind of just rusted out. And you can see the Winnebago has stopped near them. Selena, you would know, like, it's sort of situating itself, and they've kind of calmed it. And as Eustace and Duke, you're watching as you come up, you just watch as some of these buildings are in this kind of like slow state of implosion. You at one point saw a red-furred like wolf come up to the Winnebago and kind of shift into Cannon Red Fever. And I'll say that you all have reached now, and like there is Selena. You hear her voice. You see some other werewolf you've not seen before. You've seen Lucretia. They're all on top of this Winnebago. You see Tycho that you met before. He's like getting out of the Winnebago, exchanging words with Cannon Red Fever, as you guys have now reached where it appears they've managed to, for the time being, keep this spirit kind of situated. What do you two do?
Everybody's singing? Like, that's the thing they're doing? Selena's singing the one.
Seems like it. Do we need to sing?
I think so. So we just have this awkward thing of like two naked men come walking up, one piggybacking on the other, and we start singing along.
I think this is good.
You just see like Cannon Red just kind of winces. Like Tycho like looks in your directions like what are you doing? And he like reaches into his pocket for some of that sleeping dust. But like Canon Red Fear comes over. That's unnecessary. They have it under control.
Oh, all right.
And you what? Okay, good.
Do you guys need anything?
We're glad to help.
Yeah, or we can take Selena away and go find the rest of our pack.
They look up, and you watch as Tycho comes up. He climbs up this ladder on the side of the Winnebago, sort of taps Selena on the shoulder to replace her at that point. And he says, "Thank you. Your assistance was invaluable. You may go."
Oh, yes. Thank you. And she turns around and jumps off the top of the Winnebago.
And you hear like Orin kind of shouts down at you, and he's just like, "Do not forget to take time to stare at the sky, sister."
And at that, she sort of remembers seeing that, and you just see her kind of look up again, sort of hoping, and she looks up.
It just looks like normal sky. I mean, it's a decent sight. You're nowhere near a city right now, but it's nothing like what you saw inside.
And she's a little kind of crestfallen at that. And then kind of rejoins. I was unsuccessful at locating anyone other than Orin.
Sounds like you helped them wrangle the spirit with your singing.
Mhm.
So, you did what you were here for. Sometimes
But
we
we-
want to do one thing, but we end up doing something else. The important thing is you were trying to do right. And you
We
did.
came to find the pack.
We got them
did.
all. It's okay.
Everybody's
Oh.
saved.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, that's
Moonshadow's
that's-
saved. Everybody from Markland is saved. So, good work.
Oh, that's
Congratulations for being a big damn hero, Selena.
excellent. That is very relieved. Very relieved. And
Not
looks
that I don't know
around.
about you. I'm really tired. I want to go get a drink and go to bed.
Is everyone else safe?
Ish.
Yeah. We think.
Everybody's alive.
And then she's sort of taking in, like she was just happy to see them, and now she's sort of taking in the view of what she sees here. And she's like,
Duke stands proud.
No, stop that.
Oh, sorry. It's just that's just kind of my natural demeanor.
Why?
Well, I mean, normally I'm clothed.
I must say, I'm pleased to see you. Shall we
I get that a lot. Don't worry.
return?
Yeah. Let's go. I think Jacques is messing up bodies, but we'll go wrangle him. I don't know where Lou was at a car, but we'll go see.
Lou had the rest of the pack that were injured. She's trying to get them to safety. So
that probably
Oh.
means she ditched us.
she's probably taking them
We-
to the Grove. That's not ditching. That is getting them to safety.
Well, it's interpretation, I suppose.
The
you know what,
spirit
dude?
was-
In fairness, you are a man who has a lot of interpretation to account for as well. But
Well,
I'm
I
going to give you the
don't-
benefit of the doubt as much as her.
I mean, I don't know if you know how that spirit got away from the neighborhood.
I'm sure it involved you getting real bloody and naked, and thank you for that,
Mhm, yeah.
despite the discomfort I'm feeling in my shoulder blades right now.
Well, you're welcome.
that
Thank
that's
you.
wonderful. That I'm very glad that I was able to find Orin and they could start the process of getting this back again. Let us.
Yeah, you want to hop
True,
on?
No, thank
Come
you.
on, man.
And Selena's
heard
going to
it's
go
so
ahead
okay.
so that they're behind, and then
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll say the three of you begin your return. We'll cut though to Jacques. Jacques, you've been spending some time hiding the body, or like basically changing the bodies to make it look like they've died a different way. You've more or less finished when you suddenly hear a voice. Hello? Guys? Ben? Isaac? Dr. Pritchard? Hello?
He'll shift into Glabro form so he can talk to this guy.
So you see coming up from coming out of the neighborhood, kind of beginning to walk in the direction of, like, we'll say over by that kind of tented land, like a staging ground area. You see coming out a man in this suit, half diving suit, half hazmat suit. The helmet's off, and he's just, oh god, and he starts retching when he sees like some of the carnage. Not the people, but the broken telescope. No, he sees the people, and he's like, he's absolutely, he's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh god, oh god, what the hell? Oh, is there anyone here? And he's like scrambling around. You see him picking up, like, he's picking up a radio. Hello, anybody? And it just sort of like gives this feedback in this direction. He throws one down, picks the next one up, and he's in this like state of like panic and searching. And what do you want to do?
Jacques goes, I'm here.
What? Who was that? Where? What?
No, I'm just casually walking towards him.
Okay.
You.
Oh my god. What? Wait, who? I don't know you. Who? Oh shit! You didn't. Who are you? And you see him like throws the helmet in your direction, like in this sort of panic state.
Jacques catches it, looks at it, puts it aside. Human, you have transgressed against the Green Mother. You have walked in the world that is not meant for you. You have poisoned the land and the spirits. But there is a chance for you to come into the world of the Green. You will tell me what you know of this place, what you are doing here, and of your masters.
He looks around. Buddy, I don't know half of the stuff that you just said, but if you promise to let me go, I will tell you everything I know.
I promise that if you tell me everything you know, I will welcome you with open arms.
Make a manipulation test. Make a
Open arms, better to claw
Yeah.
you to death with.
Yeah, that's not freedom.
Persuasion, manipulation.
Yeah,
I
that
assume?
sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good.
This is also going to go well for Jacques because he's a talker,
Yeah, as we know. Yeah.
as we know. One success.
He said, that means I get to. You're gonna let me go unharmed, right? That's what that means.
I promise these hands will do no damage to you.
Man, you sound like a lawyer right now. I will listen. I am just a tech. That's all I am. All I do is maintain the machines, and I follow the signals. That's it. I can tell you other things. Dude, I don't want to die. I got a family.
Tell me everything and I will let you run into the desert and I will not pursue you.
I would really like you to just say, I will let you live. I really just feel like I need you to say that phrase.
And you see Jacques almost start to shift. His muzzle starts to get big. His teeth come out. He's like, I will let you live if you tell me everything and if you promise to pack up all that you know and leave this area and never, ever, ever return to the spirit world.
He looks down and he's like standing next to an arm of one of his friends that's just on the ground. Yeah, that's okay deal. That is a deal. Okay. So I like spirit world. You sound like Sasha, like Dr. Bennett. I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about spirit worlds or green mothers or whatever. All I know is that we study signals and signals that are manifesting in ways that defy known science. and have no explicable origin. We had this site where there is a history. It was intermittent, like every 30 years or something. And we got some strange signals, and we came and we found, I don't know, man. It's like you walk inside and people just would disappear and they wouldn't come back out. Okay? So I have been tracking signals. That's it. Okay?
How do you track the signals?
Well, we used that thing there, and like you look down and there's just like rubble of tech and a little bit of that. And then we have listening stations. Echo Labs. That's my company. That's my company. And he kind of holds up, and you can see the little Echo Labs insignia. They're scattered, like all over. We're the good people. Echo Labs. All we do, like we're not political. We're just studying stuff. That's it. We're just learning things. All we're doing. It's just science. For the sake of science, right? Right? That's it.
You pollute the Green Mother, and now you would pollute the spirit world. But I have given you my word, so continue to speak of your heresy, and I will not be responsible for what happens. Tell me of this Dr. Bennett. Where is she?
She's, okay, well, I mean... Well, she goes to like all the sites, you know. She's got, okay, so we got HQ, like the headquarters, like, and that's downtown. But I mean, that's really just for like sales and business stuff and that's way above my pay grade, man. They just donors and they whatnot, wine and dine and that kind of thing. There's nothing goes on there that's like the business, right? That's just sort of the face. And then we've got stations. We had stations. We've got, let's see these. Well, I mean, around Phoenix, we've got the Signal Mountain. Okay. We used to have one up by White Canyon, but something went down there. I wasn't there. I just heard the stories. Like people died apparently. It's worse.
I know. I was there.
Oh. You killed them. Oh. Okay.
Enemies of the Green Mother.
Who is the Green Mother, man? Who is the Green Mother? I don't know. I am not the enemy. If the Green Mother is upset with me, tell her I am sorry. I have nothing against her. I apologize for any transgressions.
As I said, you still have a chance. Tell me then, if this headquarters is just the face, where is your true research done? Where are the people who have devised this foul technology? Who calls upon the Weaver to strike at the wild?
Okay, I'm going to ignore the second half of that sentence because I didn't understand any of it. But Signal Mountain, you want Signal Mountain? It's way out west. It's that's the thing. I don't work there. I'm just a tech. I get called in to do certain things here and there. Like that is not my location. I don't even have a locker there. It's out west. They do some weird stuff out there. Like I don't know all of it. I don't know everything that goes down. All I know is like that's like the top secret stuff, right? That's the stuff that we don't ask questions about, right? Like that's above my pay grade, man. Like, but that's what you want. You want
what type of security do they have there?
Total? As he's looking around at the dead locker room bodies on the ground, like it's like a military base, sort of kind. I'm sure you'll be fine. Oh my God, I knew that guy. I played poker. Oh God. As he
His heart tasted delicious.
Oh, well, good. Waste not, want not, I guess.
How many people are at this signal mountain?
Hundreds, I think. I've
Other
never
than-
been. I've only worked at the stations, and I go to the signal sites. That's it. When a weird signal pops up and we find something, I'm one of those crew. That's it. Okay? I'm an outdoors guy. I like nature, man. I like, rock climbing and hiking and stuff. I love nature, and so that's what I do. Right?
Who else other than Dr. Bennett leads this travesty against the Green Mother?
I mean, there's Lomax. Dr. Lomax, he's like he's not the face. He's operational, I think he's the head psi there. I think that's the guy. I met him once when I did my interview, and it was on Zoom, man. I was on Zoom. We didn't even share the same room.
Strip out of this garb. Give me all the devices of the Weaver that you have on your body. Your phone, anything else.
Weaver, like my clothes, man?
No.
Like Stitch?
All of your technology.
Sure. Okay. And he takes off the suit, drops it down. He comes over and he hands over to you. It looks to be basically a tablet device. And then there's some sort of almost like a gun, sort of a gun with almost like a little radar dish on it that seems to connect to it. And he's like, "Here, this is it."
What does that do?
Just localizes signals in a small area. That's it. That's the thing, man. We don't know where these things originate from. They just kind of pop up, and so
they are everywhere, you fool. They pop up where the worlds are weak, where the line is weakest.
Absolutely, I agree.
The Jacques gets in really close to him, really close. Puts his nose up against his neck and gives this really big sniff. I know you're sent now.
Okay.
Run, man. Run, virus. Run far from this land. Never again harm the Never again harm the earth. Treat it with reverence and care. And if I ever catch your scent again, I will tear out your throat and eat your heart. And I travel far and wide in the Southwest, so I suggest you go to Canada.
I like the cold. And he runs.
The Jacques looks down at all of this technology. He wants to market, but he knows that they need more information. So against all of his better judgment, he will bundle it up and take it back to Lou.
Wow.
Wow.
Victory!
The patron thinks about that, but all right. Okay.
He's going to destroy it later after Lou looks at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You already
So
peed
we'll
in my
say
server room several times.
we'll say shortly after that scene, the rest of the crew, sans Lou, returns to the site. So everybody but Lou, you're already on your way back to Gaia's Grove. The rest of you are here. Is there anything else the four of you do as you come together? Is there anything else that you would want to do before leaving Whispering Sands?
I mean, Jacques would make sure he would shift back into lupus form, and he would make sure that there's nothing living left here.
Okay. Wouldn't take very long. There's no human living. They're all really in bad shape. Some of them are in pieces. Some of them are half in a tree or half in the ground. There's some horrific scenes all around. There's basically nothing living inside the neighborhood at this point. And outside of that, in a radius around, you already had the sense that there was a lot of creatures that were kind of avoiding it. And so you'll eventually see some basic animals, but definitely no humans whatsoever.
And he'll shift back. He'll be like, downtown isn't the target. Signal Mountain is where we need to go to find the humans that are responsible for the travesties we've been dealing with.
Well, Lou will be very happy to figure out what those do.
It disgusts me, and I'll destroy them as soon as she's seen them, but it may give us an edge in the fight against the greater evil.
Indeed. And Selena will look through and see if there's anything else in the tents that looks recoverable or...
Okay.
You know what, Jacques? I want to say I really appreciate like you're going out of your way to always look out for the pack, man. That's just I know you hate it.
No,
It
we're
sucks.
one pack.
We are.
We must protect one another. Even those who fall into the Weaver can be brought back into the wild.
That's right. Well, you know, that's why you're one of the best of us. Thank you so much.
Selena, you can roll either tech, like wits or intelligence, or science, wits or intelligence, one of those two.
Yeah, I'll do science intelligence. And I will
And the
get
better you do,
3 successes.
the better it is. Okay. 3 successes is pretty good. All right. As you are looking through the tents and things like that, none of the machinery seems to be recoverable. But one thing you do notice as you are kind of pushing what looks to be like the torso and part of an arm off of one of the tables is you notice that where the arm was severed, you can see that there is like some kind of subdermal, like little small patch that you see sticking out from beneath the skin. It's kind of coated and covered, but it's very clear. It looks awkward. It's about the size of like a quarter maybe. And you can recover that. You said 3 successes?
Yes, it did.
Do you want to do some willpower there? Maybe see if there's
of course.
something else.
Willpower reroll. These 2.
3 is good, but 4 would be better. That's a shame.
3 is all I get.
That's all you find. That's all you find.
Okay.
All right. Any other things that you guys wanted to do here before you head back?
Duke wants to see like in the tents or maybe in the helicopter if we can find uniforms.
Okay. You definitely can find uniforms, just sort of the state that they're in, because so many people were ripped apart. I'll just roll a random die, see how many you can find that are salvageable to the point where you can like stitch them up, repair them. I'm not even kidding. I rolled literally 5. So there are 5 salvageable.
Nice.
I rolled a D10. And so it's
Do you want to put a pair of those pants on now?
Nope.
Okay.
Just gonna let it all hang out for the rest of the night.
I really appreciate this bonding experience.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When's the last time you've let the breeze just flow right through? It's been a while. We've been so busy.
All goddamn time, but not like this, man.
You start stretching again.
Like he's about to run a marathon. Oh, God.
We
Okay.
gotta walk back to the car, okay? I'm getting ready.
All right. And then Eustace, was there anything you wanted to do? Everybody else had something to do?
I want this to be done. No,
Okay.
I have nothing
You
else
get
to
in the
add.
car, you drive back. Everybody eventually, you leave the site, and you return to Gaia's Grove early in the AM. So it's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning or so when you arrive. But we'll say you all make it back to Gaia's Grove. You're all intact. We'll say some hours pass. Definitely Adora and some of the others will come out, assist with you, Lou, in sort of retrieving the bodies of Bodhi and his pack. Get them situated in a position where they might be able to sort of help, sort of augment the healing and the regeneration. And shortly after you get back, Lou, you can see your crew comes in as well, and there's tech apparently for you to look at too.
Oh yes, I will take it. Where is it? Who brought
Before
it?
Jacques hands it over, he's like, "Understand this. This is for you to study to develop a war plan against the evils that created this, and then I'm destroying it. Are we okay with that, Lou?
Yes, of course.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
No.
Don't make me hunt you down. for the
She's definitely
technology.
lying to you.
Duke, shut up.
Is there a roll I can make to determine?
I don't think you need to make a roll.
Yeah.
Are we done yet?
Okay, fine.
He
I will-
drops the bag. He's like,
Okay.
"Don't make me hunt you down for this."
I mean, I'm not going to run away, at the very least. I'm never going to win a fight against you, but this was thank you.
Okay. All right. So we'll say at this point, like, don't worry about time necessarily. We've got plenty of it. So obviously you guys probably want to heal, recuperate, rest, etc. You have people to take care of, to check in on. So we'll say we'll get a little bit looser with time now as the day will continue. You'll get some rest, etc. And the next day or so will pass. So now that you guys have concluded this whole sort of adventure down in Whispering Sands, are there any tasks that people are doing? Are there any things people are checking in on? You know, whatever order we go. Eustace, you raise your hand. You got something?
Yes. Eustace has kind of found himself in a weird, like, equilibrium between, like, regular world and Umbra. And he already took the spiritual sustenance when he's in Umbra, but now he's kind of feeling this weird tug for kind of doing the same, but in the real world. And there's a rite called territorial dominance, where he's already learned how to draw like energy from the Umbra, but now he's kind of like figuring out a way to do the mirror version of that over in the real world. But he's got to do it during nighttime when the moon is shining down. And he basically just spends an entire night running as far as the territory as he can, just around. He'll run and yip out, maybe even calling out to the coyotes while he does, and just kind of spend an entire night just roaming as far the territory as he can, marking it.
I know we'll say that there are stretches where you don't run alone, where like the coyotes will come up out of the shadows, especially towards the northeast where you sent them. You'll see them kind of come up and sort of run as best they can. You're probably faster than them, but eventually like they'll sort of peel off and you're going to go this way and that. And we'll probably say that's probably the next night or so after.
Yeah,
after
that'll be
some
his next
time.
day or so. Like basically kind of like, it's almost like a spiritual tethering to the land. It's good because it gives him bonuses while he's here, but if the land gets hurt, he gets hurt, but it's still.
So it's up to you in terms of the, like, because it doesn't really define how large the size is, right? Like
it's how far I can move in a night.
So do you want to do like a roll for that to see like a stamina athletics to see what you're at, and like that'll kind of determine a radius for you, or
sounds good.
Yeah, let's give that a roll. So stamina athletics, and the higher the better, basically.
Okay. Well, there you are. You do 4.
Okay, 4 successes is really good. You're welcome to spend willpower if you wanted to up it, but 4 is really good. That'll get a pretty large area. But if you wanted to go even further than that, you're welcome.
You know what? I will, because I can recover willpower. Why not?
Okay.
We're kind of getting in the waning hours of the campaign, anyways.
Sure.
Aw.
Nah.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say that, are you focusing just on like are you just focusing on like non-city? Like, because we've basically been
mostly
doing, like
yes.
this. Yeah, because this campaign's been around the outskirts. Like that's what we've been sort of focusing on. So I'll say
he'll try to cheat a little bit towards where Jacques and them hinted that we need to be doing stuff. So he'll try to cheat a little bit in that direction.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you basically make a donut around Phoenix, and Phoenix, like the city areas, the main city, some of the suburbs and stuff. You probably avoid that, but in a lot of the outskirts areas. So basically any of the parks, any of the wilderness areas, and the immediate outskirts of Phoenix would probably be in your radius for a full night. You on full burn and whatever werewolf form, lupus form, something like that you're in, you would probably be able to sort of cover pretty much anything of that. So anytime we're kind of outside of Phoenix, not in the city, I think it'll probably qualify.
That's fair.
Okay.
Still, that'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Anybody else had anything that they were doing? Little odds and ends. All right, Lou, what do you got?
Well, Lou will be sitting at the sickbed for her kid and Riley, and there is an ashtray absolutely overflowing next to them as they chain smoke their way through all of the documents, all of the phones they themselves managed to steal from the tents, cry about their telescope, and start working on what Jacques brought as well. And so... Lucas, there is some information that I need to tell you about that is in your genealogy as well. Oh, here, do you want to try to take apart this thing while we talk? Thank you. Here's some screwdrivers.
Am I gonna go bald young or something? Is that what it is?
Well, the opposite, really. So, you know how we try to... take some very informative photos of, you don't need to smash it. Come on. You just need, look, if you twist this thing here and then get the screwdriver over there, it comes apart so quickly. And then you can get to, so you know how we take some photos of people and companies that are doing bad things to Earth, and well, it's partly because we are of a line that are werewolves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My guidance counselor says that you got to stop saying weird stuff and taking me on those photo shoots. By the way, because
well, I mean, your guidance counselor doesn't know.
Is this blood? It's really sticky.
No, I'm sure that's just cranberry juice. Don't lick it. No.
It's not cranberry juice. It's
not
cranberry juice, Mom.
Okay,
it's not.
So. Okay, don't freak out. You see my hands? Yes. And she'll just kind of like change them into some like slight werewolf claws and hands, but not like a full thing, just a slight. So all you see is this.
Okay. He will suffer, I think, a delirium moment here. Okay, so... Okay.
There is a spirit world and things... Oh, no, okay, this is not... This too much too quickly.
Yeah, so as he's staring at you, and as your hand shifts, his hand just lets loose with the device that you just gave him, and it goes crashing to the ground. And he's,
oh no, let me catch that.
And you just see he's just frozen, and sort of like a state of shock.
Okay, we'll push you back down on the bed for a moment, and when you're ready, we'll talk about it a little bit more. We'll tuck you in. Yeah, it's okay. We'll talk about it.
And whenever you try to tuck him in, he's like,
Yeah,
and he kind of swatting at your hands.
Nope. Okay. And she'll kind of break the news to Luke is not very well.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Oh, God. Poor kid.
Remember when I was shot and I got better very quickly? There's a reason for that. Okay.
I thought you just drank a lot of milk or something. Okay. All right. So that's Lou. Anyone else have any odds and ends that they were looking to do?
Jacques would just head out to the wolf sanctuary and spend the night as a wolf amongst wolves.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. No issues. Sure.
Selena would want to have a conversation with Eldora.
Okay. Adora, she's like, why is it you people never know my name?
Sorry, I thought it was Adora, and then I looked at the thing and I'm like, I think that says Eldora. My bad.
It's right there on our relationship map.
I know, and it says Eldora.
There's no L. What are you talking about? Damn it, there's an L. It's supposed to be Adora. That's on me. That's my bad. It's supposed to be Adora. I just put it in wrong. I
second guessed myself because I was like, yes. Sorry, it's been a night.
Sometimes I go by Eldora.
Good. So, about the Stargazer, I am pleased to report that they were being truthful to the best of their knowledge, I do believe. They thought they had lost their leader inside, and we were able to find him and get him back. And Duke was able to separate the spirit from the neighborhood. And then the Stargazers were able, and I, with a little bit of assistance from me, were able to wrangle the spirit again.
She looks at you. She's like, considers for a minute. She's sort of nodding, listening to everything you say. I am pleased to hear that you have found allies. They are a fickle group. One pack might be friendly, and their interests might align with ours. But that does not necessarily mean that the next pack of Stargazers that you meet will not have different motives. And should theirs conflict with ours, then what will come of it? This is not to say that they are not welcome here. They can come here if they wish, and we will welcome them. They have helped you. You have helped them. We have found peace. But I would caution you. One old woman to another, that it is very hard to understand their motivations and their methods. What we see is but a glimpse, the tip of an iceberg, and they are far more complicated. They still are given gifts from a patron that no one knows. And that alone is enough to maintain our suspicions of them.
I hear what you're saying. You can never judge a whole entire group by the actions of just a few of that group, good, bad, or otherwise. That does make sense to me, but I hope that perhaps we could have somewhat of an arrangement with these.
As I said, they are welcome to visit and treat. We will not treat them as outsiders, but we will not treat them as family. They can be allies, but one that we look at with a level of scrutiny that we might not need others that we know better. As I said, we know not where their gifts originate. We know not who they have aligned with. We are uncertain. There is none that know. And until such information is available, how do we know that they are not ultimately serving a devious purpose? A long con, perhaps.
Well, if I've learned anything from the development of our pack here together, is that even those that serve differences can still find ways to work together. And she'll kind of talk about Jacques and Lou and, them being able to work together, and Jacques saving tech for Lou to study, and change can happen.
If you say that Jacques saved tech, she'll I need to sit down. Oh,
Right?
today.
The developments
me.
are just
She's just like, if Jacques can be swayed to protect technology, then perhaps our purpose is not a losing battle after all. If that can happen, anything can. And you see a sudden, she's reinvigorated.
excellent.
Okay.
And then Selena
yeah.
will go smoke and hum the tune that she was humming with Orin on the roof and see if she can see the stars the way she saw them on the roof with Orin.
Give a roll. So give the same roll that you rolled. So give like a cult. What did I say?
How high do you get? That's what the roll is.
Quite. Quite.
Well, it depends on what you're
sorry. Occult and
well, if you said you're humming, you're doing the song.
yeah.
Like I said, as either a cult or performance or one of the two skills, and then charisma would be the attribute.
Okay. Definitely charisma, occult, and that will be 3 successes.
You good with 3? You want to do it?
I will spend a willpower. Oh, wait, no, I don't spend it up here. I get like 3 or 4 back at the beginning of every session. So
okay. I've been baiting Melissa into a lot of things. I baited her into not the greatest of
I didn't get anything again.
Okay. When you as you spend the night on the rooftop of one of your various buildings within the grove, and finally relaxing with whatever, I mean, I don't know if it's peyote, whatever it is that Selena does, you begin to hum the song. It doesn't quite have the same tenor that you heard when it was the 3 of you harmonizing, but for just a moment, you do see the stars shine brighter. You can see the moon kind of glows, and there's this aura to it that seems to extend, and it kind of lightens up the dark sky. You don't see like the distant like comets shooting left and right, this amazing display, but you definitely can tell that the sky has kind of opened up a bit more to you than in the past. Okay.
And Selena enjoys this. She may not be able to leap all the time, but darn it, she can now see the sky in ways that other people can't.
Okay. Anybody else have any business that they wanted to attend to?
Yeah, Duke was going to speak to Adora, but I think he would have just listened to the conversation and been like, I guess, minorly disappointed because she's stuck in her ways and she's just kind of one of those old people that she clearly can't persuade. And he thought Selena's points were pretty good. So he doesn't feel like there's anything else to push on her. Like it's going to fall on deaf ears. But then he's just going to have a Werewolf 101 powwow with all the newbies and just help get them up to speed and learn some things.
And Hector. You get Hector too if you're talking to the newbies. You get Hector.
Before that, he will definitely berate Hector and his behavior and how he should respect elders and listen to what they have to say. And the fact that I will go and show him all of his injured packmates that I saved and all the rest
you
of the
guys come back bloody, ripped apart with the bodies of like packmates. Like, all right, I'm sorry, Duke. I acted rashly. Not rationally. Rashly. I acted rashly. I was just worried about my packmates, and I shouldn't have questioned you. You guys are old and wise, and you know like all sorts of cool old tricks and things, and I didn't realize you had a plan that was in the works. I apologize. If you want to like hit me or something, you can.
That's not really my style, but as long as you feel bad, that's good enough for me. But look, we have Werewolf 101 happening in about 30 minutes. I'd like you to come. We're going to teach about what it is to be a werewolf, what the Umbra is, and so that way you can kind of have a better understanding of what you're getting yourself into.
But I've been like a werewolf like I'm older than all of them.
Okay, that wasn't a question. That was more of like a command.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he can say, he's like, yes, sir. Yeah, you got it. Got it. And he goes to the glass that you're holding.
Yeah, and so all the new people can come, and it's just like a overview of protecting Gaia and all of our tenants and whatever.
Gotcha. Okay, so at a certain point, well, and again, we'll say a lot of this is happening over the course of a day or 2 or 3 days, like in a couple days here and there. It doesn't all have to happen instantly. Okay, so one day, as everyone's recuperating, Lou, I would let you know that, like, just sort of to follow up on some things. We have to play it all out, but I would say your son is very over the next couple of days is very nervous around you. You can tell he's just not talking much. He's being very quiet. He's being very concerned. He's there. He's doing what you're saying, and he's having trouble looking at you eye. Riley, you realize, is just doing worse and worse and worse and worse. And again, he's just a human. Like there's nothing supernatural about him. And so eventually, like, resigned to it, like Adora and some of the other healers here who know mundane healing, they say it's time to take him into a hospital. And ultimately what sort of happens with him is he loses his arm, like his whole arm, from essentially just below the shoulder, because remember he took a shot there that just became this horrific infection. He's not dead, he's nothing like that, but he basically becomes he's almost out of play for at least a little bit. You can talk to him, obviously, but in terms of sending him out and doing things, he's locked into this hospital for a while with this with now unfortunately a missing arm.
Lou attacks the system to make sure everything is paid for. Not by her, but everything looks paid for.
Your pools are high enough that even taking half would probably work out. So I think you're good. And we'll say, like, shortly thereafter, maybe at some point when you return to the Grove, maybe it's a point when Jacques is back as well. You guys see sort of sputtering down the dirt road, kind of through the entrance. You can see this old like honking like Bronco that it's got. You can see bumper stickers galore. It's like, I'm rooting for the Meteor. It's like Meteor 2024. It's like, it's that kind, like all over the place. And popping out of it, you see a very muscular, heavily tattooed man who's just basically wearing like a leather vest and leather pants. And he's got this like slick back black hair. And you guys all know him as Warchild. And as he like hops down, you see popping out one by one shortly after him, you see the rest of his pack. And they all are dressed in sort of, they're very intimidating to look at for, I think, the average person, right? And so you see Alvarez pop out, you see Tone, you see Roach, like all of them pop out, including the 2 that were arrested. So Tone and Roach were both arrested. And you see Warchild's just like, ugh. We're back. He just kind of calls it out really loud, like, we're back. They're like looking at each other. What the hell's going on here, man? This place is getting too freaking hippie, if you ask me. Anyhow, we have news. Hello.
You don't need to yell. We're around.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Is the information help?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And like you see Tone's like, hey, thank you. Thanks, Lou. Thanks, appreciate it. Okay.
Well, if you need to get a ring around the coppers, I'm always happy to help. You know that.
Yeah. You're good with the computers. We get it. And you hear like, as he turns aside, he's like, Weaver lover.
Well, do dick bags.
Jacques going, yeah.
So he's like, we've got news. That's it. Let's go. Church time. Everybody, let's go. Now. What the hell? What the hell are the little ones doing? What the fuck is that? Why? They're just sitting like cross-legged beneath a freaking orange tree. What the hell? We leave for a week and this is what happens?
No,
Yeah, we got
Right.
some new folks that showed up. They're getting the lay of the land. But the important thing is you're back. We're damn glad to see you. In fact, I want to put a beer in your hand right now.
Well, that's more like it. Thanks, man. Thanks, Eustace. And he just drinks the whole damn thing down.
That's why I brought 3.
Takes another one. Goes again. Whew. What the hell did you put in this, man? Ugh.
Oh, that's a new one. I call this one Haunt. I take some
Haunt.
habaneros and some blanos. I smoke them, and then I have them. I get the renderings off the meat and the smoke shack, and I have them drip down onto the peppers, and then I put all the spice and the fat that's been rendered down into the wort, so you kind of get this hot and spicy sort of thing going in it. So it sort of burns your mouth, but you get that little savory bit to it.
Yeah, all right. It's good. Thanks. Anyhow, listen, come on. We got news. All right. You went up in your little trip up north, whatever it was. And while you were doing that, we were out west. And shit, did we find some stuff. There's like some kind of base out there. Like,
Oh, you found the military base. Good job. We were going to
Sail
look for that
Mountain,
soon.
Yes.
wait, what? You guys fucking how did you know this already? Did one of you call them? What the hell?
We're a better,
right.
smarter, stronger pack. That's how. But tell us what you know.
Oh, so you know about the towers and shit, right? You know that?
Yes.
Oh,
And the
oh.
Hell ice cream truck. Do you know about the ice cream truck?
It's not an ice cream truck, but yeah, they got trucks there and they got choppers, tons of them. It's like a freaking airport. Did you know that they did something that basically affects shifting, right? Makes it
Yes.
harder. Almost freaking. Wait, what?
Yeah, they attacked us and they used that against us. Yeah, we know.
Well, yeah. What? And then, but man, I had a whole thing like Roach.
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
I
but-
will sit here and pretend it's shocking. Oh my god. Oh wow.
So you guys got like whatever it is that they got. It dropped you out of form.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Here's the thing, just because we sound, there is no lesser amount of appreciation for what you discovered, just because we also discovered it. Because you know,
need, like-
what if we didn't make
He's
it?
scratching his head.
It
He's
would have
like,
been you
"Huh."
that brought it back to us. So your
And you
experience
should
is
really-
valid and appreciated.
You should really tell us everything that you know, because if we just act like we know everything, there's probably something you know that we didn't get. So you should just tell us everything, and then we
Exactly.
can just confirm.
Because I'm really sure that you guys didn't know that information. Because Jeff knows that you didn't have that information.
See,
Jeff's like a dude. We met him. He's cool.
we had some success, and I think we might all of us be a little pleased with ourselves of the success
Okay.
that we had.
Listen, you got some wins. We got some wins.
Share your wins.
We're a community, man. That's what we do.
Yes,
we
we
get
are.
wins. All right.
We do.
But we got some losses too. We got some L's.
Oh no.
It's bad out there, man. Like, they drop Roach when he was fleeing on Lupus. It's just something happened, and then poof, just like that, he was just sprawling around like some old naked man. Hey, I'm not that old, man. What are you talking about? I'm like 42. 42 is not old. Like, shut up, man.
So Selena just sort of looks over at Duke and just kind
Duke
of
is
nods.
stretching.
Old
Yeah.
naked man comment.
I was running, and I got
42 is
felt,
spry, you know.
I was running. I felt dizzy. There was like voices in my head, and then bam, I couldn't freaking concentrate no more. I was just bam, just like that. I was like strolling down the traffic. I nearly got hit by a freaking rider truck, one of them big old yellow ones that they move all sorts of furniture and stuff in. You know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, dude, this is my story. Shut the hell up. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay. So anyhow, then that's when the mercs started swarming, man. Like, we're talking like dozens of them, but I think there's more. There's like 100, 200. It's like they're just there. They're like they swarm over there, man. And here's the worst part. And you can see like each one of them are just like you can see they all get like this really pissed off look, and like they spit on the ground and like squeeze like a cup too much to where it breaks. They had wolves on leashes. You guys didn't know that, huh? Yeah.
No, that one is new.
Wolves on leashes.
Werewolves are
Snarling,
normal
man.
wolves.
Garu, what the hell? You know what I'm talking. Quit interrupting.
No.
What? Can I
They have any
finish?
funny music they were doing? Them ones on the leash?
I mean, I heard some stuff like voices and things. I don't know if it was the ones on the leash, but I heard it. Yeah.
There's like
Right.
some. Okay, sorry.
No. The wolves were like crazy-eyed, snarling and such. They were silver chains, silver collars, all that kind of silver fucking everywhere, man. They were loaded to bear. They had all of it. They were ready to go. They knew, or at least they guessed. I don't know. They knew we were there. We couldn't. Man, the compound, they were outside. And that was just outside, by the way. We couldn't find a breach point anywhere. We tried to go down. I mean, there's caverns and caves and such, but like they were down there too. And then we stepped into the gauntlet, and fucking Tone damn near lost an arm, and it shit us all the way out near Goodyear. We were nowhere close when we came through. They got something, defenses or some shit, man. It's bad. And then
All right.
they've got actual like, I don't know, like some connections, because it's just up the road is the freaking nuclear plant, man. That's up there. And so they've got some kind of thing going on. We see some of them coming down, some of their folk going up and everything. And they got, I tell you about the towers? They see everything. We went in at night and they still could see us. They got that night vision.
Didn't somebody get some information about the people we think was funding the assholes who were out here doing shit? Like the people behind the people? Something came up about that recently, right?
Yeah. TDG, I think is the name of the corporation.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking. Like you can try and do traditional kind of come in from the outside and breaching, right? But they're looking for that. They're looking for a bunch of fucking wolves to just come storming at the walls, right? But what if all this bullshit has gone down, right? What if, and I know you don't love it, but like somebody like Lou has a good way of like making shit look the way people think. Somebody from the outside has got to get a whiff of all this nonsense that's happened, right? Some quality assurance bullshit. Come in and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you fucking up so bad? And we pretend that we're those people. And we
Like
use
a
that
health
as our way to
inspection
get
or
in.
something.
Yeah, like a fucking health inspection.
Yeah, a surprise one. No one likes a
Exactly.
surprise health
And what if we
inspection.
do that way instead of trying to just like brute force our way in through the walls?
I don't understand.
I don't
It's
know how to
risky.
do it. I'm just saying like as an idea.
It's a form of disguise with like a cover story.
Well, we do have 5 uniforms,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't have to be health inspectors. We could be potentially captured some Garou and bringing them to the lab. Captured.
Dude, you want to do like the Chewbacca thing?
Right.
Yes.
Maybe.
Let's
The
Chewbacca
Trojan
this
horse.
shit. Trojan
Like it.
Chewbacca. You
Yeah.
got it.
Okay. All right. I like it. It's at this point, as you guys are, we'll say at a picnic bench or something outside talking or whatever, that you guys like hear like a, you just hear like, not like a chopper thing, you just hear wings and you guys look up
Yep.
and you hear this like squawk and you look over at one of your orange trees and in like right atop it, perched atop is like the largest blackbird you've ever seen. And as you're watching, it sort of shifts. And much like you guys have Glabro, you can kind of see like your face. And you still have those like remnants of a wolf. You see the face of Mother Morello on what looks like a giant raven bird, well up atop the nearest orange tree, and she just squawk, and she's just walking down, and you can see other people are kind of like freaking out, and she's like calling down,
The clock strikes 12. Hour of death. Hour of death.
and just like squawk, and like you can see all of like your young pups are like looking to you guys, are really nervous, and like they're looking up, and like you can see like there's this big hesitation. He's like, the Lord of Thunder rages. The Lord of Thunder, his urn is open. And then like they start like calling out to you, and she continues to like squawk and scream. Disgraced, doomed, cursed. And then her face like turns back into like raven form, and she just starts to lift off and squawks once more and continues to sort of get higher and higher up into the sky.
Can I take a pot shot at her team? Are we okay with this? No?
I was about to offer her a drink and say, no, it's actually happy hour. But, she was just really intense.
Yeah. Okay, so note is taking... I have some guns here.
It's like shooting us. Let's not do that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one that she's spitting words at us, and they're creepy words, but like words ain't the same as bullets.
But yes, the bullets are much more effective. That's why I like them more.
Words can be effective.
Have you even shot a gun the whole time we've been running around?
At this point, she's completely out of rage.
I mean, what are you even talking about? What is this big game coming from you? I don't understand.
Just because I get knocked out at the very beginning of nearly every fight does not mean...
In fairness, I would assume if any of us understands the ins and outs of a weapon, it probably would be Lou.
What are all of you talking about? What did she say?
Are you still high?
Still,
Lord of
days
Thunder.
ago.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. I mean, you said you didn't, get to smoke for a while, so I thought you were going just ripping it.
No, she's the one that's actually addicted to this stuff. Hour of death.
Smoking
Hour
is
of
good.
death.
12 o'clock.
The clock strikes 12, which, to be fair, does twice a day, so it's not that uncommon.
And
So as
But,
you guys,
maybe here's the thing. Sometimes when the muse shows up and they say shit and it sounds weird to you and it freaks you out, maybe you look another way. Maybe what she's trying to tell us is that's the right time to go into the base. Because are you going to tell me that Mother showed up in the middle of the conversation to drop that verbiage during that time just randomly? I don't think so.
Well, it could also be the times that their camp decides to attack us. They plan on killing us.
And so as you guys talk, we'll fade out of that scene as you guys talk through that.
It's
And
fine.
when-
She was helping us. It was
We'll
creepy.
end for today.
She meant well.
She gets shot.
I appreciate your optimism.
She's like, hey, how's it going? Bam.
When you're a brewmaster, the glass is always half full.
we have recently learned that we don't always need to take on those that are different from us in battle.
Did we learn?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they're not that different than you.
But the mother is with the older dudes that's clearly evil and the teenage mage that is trying to...
But like the involvement of who works for who is very much under question.
And I
And they're
still
so far
object to
away.
he's clearly evil.
He's very evil.
We're done, by the way. We're over. I still think clearly evil is very,
Clearly evil dude.
It was.
I would say
it was on,
not the most
He's just
ethical
old
guy in
and
the world,
demented.
but
Like, just
evil?
give
I
Duke
don't know if
20
I go that far.
years. Just give
on the
Duke
negative
20
side
years.
enough to rescue the pups and rescue the younger
Yeah.
folks and like not feel
Yeah.
bad about taking them.
Yeah, just
But-
let King Duke reign for 20 years and it'll probably be like that guy.
Exactly. If Duke wasn't such a lesser noble, he probably would have already done that. That's just me speaking.
My God.
I think we just convinced the stargazers to move this spirit over Signal Mountain and let it sit there for a while chewing on these
A
guys.
long ass
Didn't
hole.
think about that.
It is a long ass haul, yeah. It's like a
If we
There's
all
nothing in
sing
between either.
together.
It's just definitely desert. They're gonna go just through desert, no problems.
there's suddenly no southern Phoenix. South Mountain's
Yeah,
gone.
there's no
You
way
know,
to get from Phoenix to
fuck
Tucson
that
anymore.
place.
We
Yeah.
just took that
Can
out.
we loop up somehow and hit Scottsdale? Because that would be really nice if we could go north.
Jacques
Oh,
would have no
goodness.
problem with any of this. He'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah, Jacques would-
park
Jacques
it
would be
right
like,
over Phoenix too. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Lou probably would want to keep the humans alive.
Only ravens you want to kill. I get it.
Yeah, well,
That's
you know,
specious.
With
not
that
normally.
gun she's so good with that
I
she's
know,
never
right?
used the
Where
whole
did that come
campaign.
from?
Oh my god, let me
Pop
pull it.
shot?
My god.
What? What are you taking a pop shot?
I didn't get it until like whenever we crashed the cars or something.
Oh god. All right. So we'll end there. We're in the final arc, final story arc. We'll pick up next week. We only have a couple sessions left. Like I said, somewhere between 2 and 4. I mean, obviously, like, you know, things could go really weird and we could finish next time. But somewhere, I think we have a couple sessions left. So we have a few sessions left. If you haven't spent your XP, I would recommend maybe doing that as there's limited time left. Why don't we go ahead and do a couple closing plugs and we'll get on out of here. Jeremy, let's start with you, man. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this Patreon?
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. We've got maps, tokens, other fun stuff. Check it out.
Awesome. Look how fast that typing was. That was pretty
I
impressive.
saw that.
I was really impressed with myself.
I
was so
saw
good.
that. I was watching.
Oh, goodness. Aaron, what's going on over on Garbleck?
let's see. Next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find Millie, the GM, continuing her Coriolis playthrough. I believe they're streaming it directly on YouTube, though. So look for it on the YouTube channel. Then on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be back in the narrator's seat as we continue our Marvel multiverse playthrough of the Cataclysm of Kang. Getting ready to move into the rank 3 adventure here shortly. And then on Thursday, you'll be able to find Pete continuing his Heroic Deeds run. That's his own RPG that's getting ready to be put out on Kickstarter in February. It's old school fantasy with some modern mechanics in it. It's a lot of fun. He's running everybody through the Red Hand of Doom adventure.
Perfect. And then for us here tomorrow night, Aaron, we good for Wrath and Glory?
We're going to be doing some Wrath and Glory, Cubicle 7's Warhammer 40K, as we continue our Vow of Silence run through of the Litany of Lost adventure. We're fighting some orcs. We're having some good times. We're hunting down some traitors. So join us for probably the finale of this adventure tomorrow. And maybe I'll get to kill somebody.
Very nice. I have certain people that I would prefer you kill over others. If you would like some suggestions,
I'll keep that in my head. Go ahead. It's not in my direction.
There is definitely one that goes to the top of that list. Let's see what else we got. Saturday, the plane is called Through the Eternal Lives. We had to take off last week due to some illnesses and injuries and such in the crew. So hopefully we're back to that. That's the plan for Saturday. So come see more of our Call of Cthulhu campaign. Monday, you could see the top row here playing some Fragged Empire. So we're continuing another sci-fi space game. Tuesday, man, Marvel Multiverse has been a little snake bit in the past few weeks. So hopefully we will get back to that on Tuesday as we're very close to the end of the campaign. And I know we have every intention of finishing it. It's just bad timing the last couple of weeks on a few things. And then next Thursday, we'll obviously be back to more Werewolf. If you haven't checked out the YouTube page, Adventures in Lollygagging, please go ahead and take a look at that. We've got all sorts of games, including the other ones that we're running live right now, like Delta Green and Monster of the Week and such. But otherwise, thank you to everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you to those of you who threw out some subs and bits earlier and got us that hype train. We are going to go ahead and raid Insomnia Night RPG. If you would like to go ahead and follow us to them, that would be awesome. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night. We'll catch y'all later. And bye-bye.
Good night.
See ya.